All right, welcome everyone to the Ecco the Dolphin block of SEGATHON 5. I am Grimshins. I am not going to lift my chair because I have been doing way too much of that in chat and my arms are tired. But what I will do is speed run this dolphin game. We're going to be playing the Sega CD versions of these games tonight, which are kind of interesting from a speedrun point of view because they patched most of the glitches. Not all of them, but most of them. And that's going to affect things. I'm also horribly out of practice on the Sega CD versions, so estimate what are estimates. But yeah, time will start when I take control of Ecco, so I'll try to give a proper countdown here. Okay, let's select the game here. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, start off hot here. Jump in the air and our family gets sucked up by a storm. And we're sad, and we're gonna go look for them. If you're familiar with the Genesis version of this run, you would know that this level is really short. We open up the sonar map and just exit the level. We can't do that in this. They patched the sonar map exit glyph. And play through the level as normally. The jellyfish are kind of annoying because they always seem to be in the exact wrong spot. Undercaves, pretty tough level normally, but from a speedrun point of view, not too bad. Just want to grab the key over here. Use this shell to break some stones, as all shells are capable of. And most of the glyph skips in this game have been patched, but this one still works. That's the only one that works in the CD version. But not too bad. The vents is pretty straightforward. Nothing special, we just swim to the end of the level as quickly as possible. Do those jumps quickly. Getting that into good rhythm's pretty difficult, so I'm pretty happy that worked out. And onward to the lagoon. And thank God the lagoon skip did not get patched. First try, baby. Yeah, basically we force the camera to scroll down and push us through the floor. And this is the any % no camera freeze category, which means I can't move Ecco without moving the camera, but I am definitely allowed to move the camera without moving Ecco. Because that's an Ecco freeze, that's not a camera freeze. And excellent, I got the quick push on that shell. Get some safety air here, because we're going to be spending a lot of time underwater. Most of the geometry clips were also patched, but this one still works. Yeah, Booster is correctly pointing out that I broke my SegaCrew tradition of not practicing for events because I hadn't played this version of the game in probably 2 years, and everyone else seemed to be practicing for their runs, so I didn't want to be, you know, the fool who went over estimate. And just one more glyph down here, and exit into open ocean, which is a very relaxing level because all I need to do is line Echo up at the surface and just tap the C button until the end of the level. That's one of the things that was easier on the Sega CD version, because in the Genesis version, the magic pixel is not at the surface of the water. It's almost at the bottom of the level, but it's kind of tricky to line up correctly. So this was a quality of life improvement. And unfortunately, we've got to play the ice levels. There aren't any glitches in the CD version here. So we do some jumps. And need to do one more jump here, because... Oh! I said there weren't any glitches, but I almost clipped through the floor there, which is pretty sick. I'm actually not sure what I would have done if that clip had occurred. Oh, and one thing that I pointed out in the initial submission of this game for SEGATHON is that the soundtracks for the Sega CD version ended up on like the New Age charts. Spencer Nilsson's soundtrack apparently was very popular among the Dolphins and Crystals crowd. Try to not get crushed by these ice blocks, but they can be a little bit mean. Hit the glyph there, and thank God we made it through. That level can be rather tricky. Oh, and I managed to get the mid-air glyph pickup. That is sick. Although I got turned around on the ice surface, which isn't as cool. So, finally reached the first major event in the game here. I said we talked to this giant blue whale, the Big Blue. He explains that, well, the storm that took your family occurs every 500 years. We don't really know why it happens. Wish I could help, but you're gonna have to go find somebody else. He's as old as the ocean, but won't sing to us. But, hey, maybe you'll have better luck. So we're gonna go find it now. And we get to do a repeat of open ocean, because, you know, we swam all the way to the Arctic, which means we need to swim all the way back. Ah, man. Echo covers a lot of ground in this game. Or, not ground, but ocean? Yeah, not a terribly interesting level. You only had to play it once in the Genesis version, but they decided, hey, what if we had the same level but backwards for the Sega CD? And now we're back in Island Zone. Ooh, got some nice Nice hops there, that was pretty quick. Grab a key. And swim slowly past the octopus here, because if we move too fast, it whacks us, and we're gonna be kinda low on health and air in this section. So I really want to avoid taking extra damage. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm going to heal there and get some air. Since this is a marathon, and I'd look pretty stupid if I died, right? Nobody makes mistakes in marathons. Very cool music that we don't get to hear enough of, unfortunately. And deep water. This is where our next friend lives. It is named Deepwater because it is deep. It is quite a dive to get all the way to the bottom. On the Genesis version, there's a magic pixel that you can line up on and dodge all of those spikes, but they changed the hitboxes for the Genesis. And if you're wondering why there's a giant strand of DNA on screen, that is the asterite, the oldest creature in the ocean, and it says, "I remember you." And you're very confused, but it'll make sense later. We are now in the Sega CD exclusive levels, which used graphics from the sequel, Ecco the Tides of Time. And they're pretty rough levels in terms of difficulty. There's a lot of stuff. They got you all over the map. This one, we are finding a bunch of glyphs to open up doors so we can get this key. And we are going to push this rock up here, push it over here, break those, and onwards to Shipgrave Sea. This one is rather interesting because it is sort of a beta version of Two Tides from Ecco 2. It's the exact same map, just got kind of a different route here. Once again, we're finding these glyphs to open up doors. And onward to Wreck Trap. This level fucks with us because we have to go left rather than right. Break some rocks. Hit a glyph. Oh, shove the turtle over there, and oh, that was way too far. So we're gonna need to reload the turtle. Get through some nasty falling rocks here. Grab some invincibility just to make some things easier. Swim over here, see if I can remember to hit this cliff. Access granted. And we're going to use some stone-eating stars to eat some stones, oddly enough. And the Sea of Silence. So named because they didn't feel like composing a music track for it. This is my least favorite stage in the Sega CD version, just because, you know, it's kind of a dumb gimmick, and the level itself, the layout is not wonderful. Just kind of a dull level. You know, swim around, get some glyphs, then we swim over here, and there's a current that we need a turtle for. Oh, and it's gonna get stuck on an invisible pixel, which is very kind. Gonna do that a few more times, apparently. What? Okay, that was very weird. Grab a glyph, and oh man, we are going to be running on fumes here. We gotta get up here, swim against this current. And onward to Deep Gate, which I think is the most interesting Sega CD exclusive level. Because we are going to get real friendly with that key glyph. We have to come back for it repeatedly. So we do that a few times. And I'm gonna be sure to get some air on this one. And hit that one. And we need to fight a current, but it's a downward current. And it's like, well, we can't push something... We can't fight a downward current with something that falls. So we need to make something ascend. So we use this barrel and sing to this clam a few times. Get it filled up with air, and it floats upward. So we can fight this current, and after we're done, we charge it to refill our air. That's the only time there's ever a puzzle like that in one of the Ecco games. It's the only appearance of a barrel, so pretty cool. Get some invincibility here for good measure. And sing these stars over to the exit. And now we're back in the Sega Genesis levels. We are at Atlantis. Our goal in Atlantis is to find a time machine, because the asteroid said we need to go back over 55 million years. And that's where we will find its missing globe. Still don't know, at this point in the game, why the asteroid was acting like it already knew us. It's like, okay, guy I just met, I will swim to the lost city of Atlantis and use a time machine to go back millions of years. Seems pretty cool. And we grant ourselves some access. And onward to the library, which has a really cool full motion video mini documentary about dolphins on the Sega CD version. But since this is a speedrun, we're not going to watch it. But it's fun if you ever play this game casually. Give it a watch. Where'd my brick go? I was doing some camera manipulation to deload the walls, but apparently I didn't do it too well. Okay, and we got it that time. Break these chains. Kind of scary, crushing blocks there, and a lot of jellyfish. And there we go. Didn't get the Deep City jump first try. This one's very tricky because you kind of need to super jump, which is frame perfect. But third time's the charm. And no sonar exit on this version, unfortunately. We've got to play the level. Forgetting which glyphs are access glyphs and which glyphs are key glyphs. That's okay, though. Okay, what is going on here? Okay, that kind of sucked because I ran out of invincibility, which means those jellyfish just bodied me a little bit, but it's okay. We get health refills when we activate invincibility. And the City of Forever. We are going to use the very convenient developer-included shortcut in this level, because otherwise it's really long with very difficult jumping sections. We're just gonna warp right to the time machine, talk to that glyph to initialize it, and got the quick time machine. Now, I really like the music in this section. It's the only track that was in the Genesis version, but so there's a nice sort of rearrangement of it for the Sega CD. On the Genesis version, it played on all of the prehistoric levels here, but no such luck for the Sega CD version. Bye-bye, good music. Instead, on this level, we hear the most overused track in the OST. Hope you like it, because you're going to hear a lot of it towards the end game. And normally this level has a bunch of glyph skips and some shenanigans that you could have done with the Pteranodon, but they patched it. Very sad times. Some long stretches of swimming here. Okay. Kim fixed it? Yeah, just blame Kim. Gonna take another Pteranodon ride, which is not a euphemism. And onward to Origin Beach, which is exactly the same routing as on the Genesis version, because this level is glitchless on Genesis. I overshot where I was supposed to go. There we are. I really like the sprite work and tile work in this level. It looks very colored pencil, which is very pleasing aesthetically. Okay, for Trilobite Circle, we are going to try to squeeze Echo through that gap. And do it again. Giant Seahorse was nice to us. Get all the way to the left here, avoid getting sucked by the current on the right. And we are on Dark Water, which is the first sort of boss fight level in the game. There are some nasty shells that can crush us, like that one. First death, that's fine. Not too big a deal. But they're very fast moving and rather annoying. And they stand between us and the key glyph that we need. Fortunately, all the key glyphs on this level are also invincibility glyphs, so we get a nice heal out of it. And we can use this shortcut here to skip that glyph, and now we're at the boss fight. It's the Asterite, only he's not happy to see us. He's wondering, what the hell is this sea creature? Like, I've never seen this before, and oh, that's why he's missing a globe. It's because we stole one from him 55 million years ago. Time paradox. So now we're back in the present for some reason. Either that or Echo is exceedingly patient. Just, you know, stood in place for 55 million years. Is Blue Glass here? Blue Glass is here in our hearts. I don't know what Blue Glass is up to these days, but shout-outs to a real one. Okay, now that we have restored the asteroid, it's gonna give us superpowers. We don't need oxygen anymore. And it tells us to go back to Atlantis to use the time machine to return to the Hour of the Storm. And then we will face the unseen enemy. And once again, since this is the Sega CD version, we can't skip that glyph. Have to talk to it. And, second quick time machine. This has been a really good run so far. That's gonna change in a minute, but, definitely been very solid. And we're back at the beginning of the game. But this time, when we jump into the air, we get sucked up into the storm as well. And now we are in space. Hope you like auto-scrollers, because the next 8 minutes of the game, I can't do anything to speed it up. I mean, aside from the obvious of not dying. Not much to the tube. In this first section, we gotta avoid these walls. And from this point on, as long as I keep Echo's bottlenose on the center line, my hitbox won't... It'll manage to dodge all the obstacles. Just want to keep Echo in more or less the center of the screen to avoid the electrical zappers. This level is long, but it's short compared to the next level. Alright, and end of track means end of level, and welcome to the machine. Hey, guess what? It was aliens all along. These nasty aliens kidnapped our family, and we're gonna get them back. But first, we're gonna have to go through a 6-minute long auto-scroller that is trying to kill us every step of the way. And to add insult to injury, if I get through this level, but I die on the level after that, I've got to replay this entire level. So, hopefully, gonna try not to die, damn it! Oh well, it was early in the level. So with that death, unfortunately, world record, which would be, doing better than 35, 50 something, is off the table. I don't really care that much because I'm the world record holder for this particular category, but yeah, any sort of death on this level is very costly. Yeah, pickled aliens indeed. Their entire planet here is kind of green. Really cool tech texture in the background, though. There's really not too much to say other than the reason that this level is so notoriously difficult is Ed Annunziata, who's a great guy, by the way, creator of Ecco the Dolphin and innumerable other games on Sega consoles and others. When he was making this game, I think he was kind of afraid of the video game rental market. He didn't want people to be able to like rent the game for a weekend and beat it easily and not have to buy the game. So that's why this level exists. I grew up playing this game, and let me tell you, when I was relearning the game for the speed run a few years back, it took me 2 hours just to memorize the layout for this level. And that was with the experience of, somebody who had played the game a whole lot. Yeah, the Sega CD version had a brand new soundtrack, Red Book Audio, composed by Spencer Nilsson, who also did the soundtracks for Batman Returns on the Sega CD, as well as the North American version of Sonic CD. Probably a few others as well. And they're universally good soundtracks. Very well composed. In each case, I prefer the Sega Genesis soundtrack, to be honest, because I really like that gritty Sega Genesis FM synthesis. But the Sega CD version of Batman Returns is a pretty cool game because that adds an entire new gameplay element with the driving levels. You get to drive the Batmobile, and it makes really nice use of the Sega CD's hardware sprite scaling. Definitely worth checking out. Getting close to the end. And one very nice thing about the Ecco games on Sega CD is because it's running on the more powerful Sega CD hardware, it doesn't have the same problems with slowdown and lag that the Genesis versions have. Ecco 1 didn't really have too many problems with lag on the Genesis, but Ecco 2 very much did. So playing that game on the Sega CD is definitely a smoother experience, load times notwithstanding. All right, time for the final battle against the Alien Queen. I'm gonna do some risky strats here. Might die, but that's okay, because we have a backup if that happens. Yep. Okay. Well, since this is a marathon, in the interest of hitting estimate, we're gonna cheat. So open the pause menu, hit right BC, BC, down C, up, and we're just gonna jump back to the final boss. And do what I was trying to do in the first place, which is get the quick kill on her jaws. Oh, I need to be careful. You'd think that this boss would be easier with regenerating health, but it's not, because when your health regenerates, you also take more damage, and if it goes down to 0, you still die. Okay, but we should be in the clear now. And she's dead! We have freed our brethren! And time is coming up now. Time. Alright, we did it! We saved our dolphin family. Alright. What did the time end up being on that? I don't have the stream open.
Certainly
40-27 faster
27.
than I did in practice.
40-27 according to the timer.
Okay, you know, more or less on estimate, so that is pretty good. We've got our adoring dolphin family here. Gonna be singing our songs forever. Oh man, a lot of GGs in chat. Thank you, Stellar Death, Eludra, Shanaberry Blast, No Diggity, Arno, Arnaud, Kraken, Miss VTV, Booster Shane, M. Sempt, Master System Marceau, GB says hi. Thank you all. Yeah, we've just got one last little teaser here. Do you think the Vortex are destroyed? I don't know. Are the aliens destroyed? Find out next, right after the bounce.